Hi, my name is Jessica. I'm a web developer. I want to build on the previous lesson called Coding a Grid of Logos in Bootstrap 3.3.4 Responsive Columns. First off, this video is for you if you already know a little bit about HTML and you need to display a lot of different sized logos in a site based off the Bootstrap framework. So here we go. I'm back to my kitten page. I'll show you how the logos can be arranged in rows. The top set is exactly like in the last lesson. It's a full width, that means it spans 12 Bootstrap columns, and they're set up in 3 rows. This top, middle, and the bottom one, which only has 2 images in it, because in this particular instance there are only 10 sponsors. So this one is the one I built to show you what happens when you put them all in one row. I have inline padding. Rather, my padding is just coded inline. Let me go ahead and resize this for you. This is a tablet. Full width in 3 rows. We've defined each column in each viewport size in these examples from the previous lesson. In this one, I did not define the number of columns that the images should display in. So the one that says full width, all in one row, these images will reflow however they want, depending on the size of your viewport. Let's see if I can get you down there. So they don't always align like they would if they were in a table or if they were aligned in Bootstrap columns. It's one way to do it, but I wanted to explain that that's why I arranged these in 3 rows. Taking you back to Dreamweaver, let me show you the rows. This display that I have set up right here is a split view. I can choose the code view only. I can split it between the live view or the code and the design view. You won't always see your images when it's in design view. So that's why you preview in your browser. But you can choose the live view and you can see what you're doing right inside of the newer Dreamweaver CC. And I'm happy with these capabilities that Dreamweaver now has, now that they've upgraded. So I could also go straight to the live view. I can change the breakpoints right here, and it shows you how your design will respond based on a different viewport size. It's pretty accurate. This col medium 12 means that this H2 is going to take up all 12 columns and appear in a row by itself. And then I start a new row. For this instance, I took away the other rows. So this row doesn't close until you see it highlighted. What? Is it not closed? There it is. In the newer CC version of Dreamweaver, you can now click an open tag and see its close tag, or vice versa. And that's very nice. So this is the row. Back up to the code view of the full width in 3 rows. Here's one row. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 images and 2 clears. This is so that on desktop it will show 4 across, and on tablet it will show 2 across with a clear for the tablet, which is small. That means if this one is taller than this image, this clear will make sure that the images line up as if they are in a table and not jump into an empty space based on the height of the image. So that's a little bit about how the rows work. I really like when I want to show a grid of logos, I like them to be lined up like they're in a table. And here we have it set up as if it's a table, but there's no table coding. I have another instance to show you. I pulled up a non-responsive site. It's this one. I help take care of this site. I do some occasional maintenance on it at work. This is not based on Bootstrap, and it's not a responsive site. This column over here, sidebar, is always there no matter how small the viewport. I'll show you with the resizer. So we have 4 logos across. It's going to retain 4 logos across, even at a smaller size. And it's going to hold this empty space for that column. If you look here at the desktop, I'll show you the part of the page that has two columns here. This column, header of tabby, when I click a smaller viewport size, it's going to jump down to the bottom of the page because I've set it up that way. Yep, looks like it's staying at the top of the page. But that means that the rest of the page is not holding an empty space for that column. And that's why this 3-up design works just fine. It's 3-up on desktop, 3-up on tablet. Down here we have set it up so that there's supposed to be 2 on tablet, and down here we haven't set up any parameters. And since the logos are small, they're squeezing in. Did you notice that I also removed the columns in my example case? So this is the last image of the first full width, and I had been holding the column classes for this div. So I had wrapped an image in a div, but I took away the div on the full width all in one row to show you what would happen. So say in this div I want to give this row some padding so that the images don't go right up to the edge on the sides. So I'm going to go do an inline style. Style is, I can show you some shorthand. I could do padding, like the prompt is telling me padding left or padding right, or I could do shorthand, which is the acronym of trouble, TRVL, which is top, right, bottom, left. So if I want padding 0 on top, I want padding of, let's say something big, like 20 pixels. Nothing on the bottom, and on the left also 20 pixels, end quote. Save it, preview it. Now I've got 20 pixels on the left and right. You can see it here. I'm going to inspect with Firebug. Firebug is a plugin that I went and found and downloaded. This is my pointer tool, and it will show me my inline padding. Right around here, I point again. You can see some of the automatic styles that came over from the Bootstrap style sheet. And the styles from the style sheet linked from this particular page gives a link for color. It matches with the color scheme. That's it for this lesson. I hope you found this helpful. Thank you.